Have you ever seen a dragon boat drift? You might think these are professional athletes, but many of them are actually local millionaires. And somehow, I ended up at a family meal for more than 1,000 people. So, what exactly is going on here? Growing up, Dragon Boat Festival meant two things to me: Zongzi and a story I learned in school. But before moving to Guangdong, I had never ever heard of a Dragon Boat feast. So when I came to Foshan, I thought I was coming to watch a race. Instead, I walked straight into lunch.
Okay, there are like over 100 tables, so I'm just gonna find my number. Number 74. Number 74. Here we are. Got it.
And not just one feast. The closer I got to the river, the more Dragon Boat feasts I saw. Some people even called it Guangdong's second Spring Festival. And sitting here, I could see why. It felt a little like watching the World Cup, except the entire community showed up. And somehow, there was room for a complete stranger like me too. I thought I came here to watch a sporting event, but I had actually walked into a community tradition. After lunch, I finally made my way to the river. And this was the moment I had been waiting for: Dragon Boat Drift. Honestly, it looked even crazier in real life. The boats raced through narrow canals, making sharp turns at full speed. One mistake, and they could crash straight into the riverbank. People in Diejiao have a saying: one drum beat through three bends. Once the drum starts, there's no time to hesitate. Everyone has to move as one. Watching thousands of people lining the riverbanks, I finally understood why people travel from all over China just to see this. But the more I watched, the more curious I became about the people inside the boats. Because the more I learned about dragon boat racing, the less it makes sense. These boats aren't cheap. A traditional dragon boat can cost hundreds of thousands of RMB. And the people racing them surprised me even more. Many of them are local landlords. And not the kind of landlord with one apartment. The kind with an entire building. Yet after work, they still show up to train, night after night, for more than a month before the festival. And for some families, it's not just a hobby. Grandfathers rode, then their sons, now their grandsons. The boats may change, the families don't. What makes this even more surprising is that the prize money isn't very high. For many of these racers, the money hardly matters, but winning does, and losing does too. Because this isn't really about money, it's about representing your village, your family, your community. And that's when I started to understand why everyone was taking it so seriously. The longer I stayed, the more I kept hearing one phrase: better crash the boat than slow down. At first, it sounded extreme, but after watching the races, I started to understand. Because nobody was holding back. Not the rowers, not the drummers, not even the people cheering from the riverbank. Everyone was fully invested, not just in the race, but in what it represented. The strange thing was, the more I looked around, the harder it became to decide whether this was an old tradition or a modern event. There were dragon boats and drones, traditional clan rituals, and live streams, community feasts, and giant LED screens. old Lingnan houses, standing right next to skyscrapers. At first, it felt like two different centuries, squeezed into the same space. But eventually, I realized I was asking the wrong question. The question was never, how has this tradition survived? The real question is, why are people still choosing it? And once I saw it that way, everything started making sense. Nobody here was trying to keep the festival exactly the same. Every generation was adding something of its own. In fact, one of the oldest dragon boats in Guangdong is over 600 years old, older than Columbus reaching the Americas. Normally, something that old belongs in the museum, but every year it still returns to the river, not as an exhibit, not behind glass, but as part of the festival itself. And somehow, that was exactly why it was still alive. A few days ago, I thought Dragon Boat Festival was about Zongzi. Then I got here and thought it was about dragon boat racing. But now, I don't think it's really about either. I kept thinking about a phrase I heard all day at the races. Better crash the boat than slow down. At first, it sounded like a slogan. But now, I think I understand it differently. Because people weren't just repeating these words. They had turned them into a way of life. Thanks for watching. This is Coco. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.